Senator Kane. Senator Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Alexander, I wish you well in retirement, but I wish you were not retiring. You've done a great job for our country. I find you to be one of the most capable officers we have, and I just want to let you and your family know how much I appreciate your service to our country. Now, having said that, could you describe in 30 seconds, and I think what Senator King and Kane talked about, just boil it down, what could a major cyber attack do to the United States? What kind of damage could incur?
I think they could shut down the power in the Northeast, as an example, Senator, shut down the New York Stock Exchange, damage data that's in the stock exchange, remove data, shut down some of our government networks, other government networks, impact our transportation areas. Those are things that are...
Release chemicals?
I think that would be harder. They could get into SCADA systems, and we see that.
Water supplies?
Water supplies, right. They could do damage to that. They could do flows on rivers.
Would it cost us trillions of dollars?
Potentially, especially in the financial sector.
Could it cost thousands of lives?
Could.
And you're telling us Congress hasn't given you and your colleagues the tool to deal with this threat. Is that fair to say?
That's correct, Senator. We need a way to work with industry to understand those.
Well, if all this could happen and we could help, seems like we would. Do you agree with that?
I agree, Senator.
And when it comes to bipartisanship, I would allow Senator Whitehouse to write the bill. I've been in a bipartisan coalition with him. I think he's one of the smartest people in the Congress that understands this issue. So
he's superb.
Isn't he? I mean, he really, I hate to say that about Sheldon, but he really, I'll just limit it to cyber. I don't want to hurt him back home.
That would be more appropriate in a closed session.
Yeah, probably. That'd probably be You're right. You're right. Now, so in year 10 of sequestration, if we continue down the road of what we're doing to our military and our intelligence community, what kind of effect will it have on our ability to defend ourselves in your world, General Alexander?
Senator, the key thing that it would impact is our ability to train and get these forces in. That's where I see the biggest impact. What happened last year when we had sequestration and furlough, it knocked out the training for about 6 weeks, which actually restarts a lot of that training. Set us back.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much capability would we be losing in your area if we allowed sequestration to be fully implemented?
I'd have to go back to get an accurate answer on that.
Would it be catastrophic?
It would be, in my opinion.
Okay, we'll give that a 10. Admiral Haney, if sequestration is fully implemented, what kind of effect does it have on your ability to modernize the force?
Senator, if sequestration is fully implemented, it will have potentially disastrous impacts in terms of things. It really will be all up in terms of the critical decisions that would have to be made in terms of with the money that is allocated and appropriated by this.
So let me see if I can summarize your testimony. If the Congress continues on the path we have charted regarding sequestration, we'll have a catastrophic effect on the intelligence community. We'll have a dangerous effect on our ability to defend the nation through strategic weaponry. On the cyber front, you've described a Pearl Harbor on steroids, and you're asking Congress to act. So let's just remember what's been said today, that we have to do something about sequestration, in my view, and we need to do something on the cyber front. Now let's get back to Senator King's questions, which I thought were very good about the role of strategic forces. Do you agree with me that deterrence is one aspect of a strong, capable nuclear program to deter rational nation states from engaging the United States? Is that still a viable concept in the 21st century?
Yes, Senator, it is.
Do you agree with me that what Senator King said is true? People embrace chaos and suicide, will not be deterred. So our goal when it comes to terrorist organizations and rogue states who do not have a rational bone in their body is to deny them the capability.
That's correct, Senator. And
you agree with me, General Alexander, this is where you come into play big time. The idea of a nuclear device coming into the United States on a steamer with 20 people on board is not a thing of novels. Is that a real threat?
That's one of our great concerns, Senator.
And do you agree with me that that's one of the real things the NSA can do to help the country defend itself, to find that out before it happens?
I do, Senator.
Okay. Prevention, denial, and interdiction. So we need to make sure that when it comes to rogue states who will not act rationally, when it comes to terrorist organizations, that we can have good intelligence, we can stop it before it starts. Now, when it comes to Iran, do you believe they're a rational nation state in terms of owning nuclear weapons? Would you feel comfortable with the Iranians having a nuclear capability? General Alexander.
Senator, I would not.
Admiral Haney.
I would not as well.
Would one of your great concerns be that they would share that technology with a terrorist organization?
Senator, that's part of my concern and/or use it.
Either way, it's not a good outcome. Can you envision a circumstance, if there's a deal struck with the Iranians, General Alexander, that allows them to enrich uranium even at a small level? What's the likelihood that Sunni Arab states would want like capability?
I think it's probable.
Could somebody actually ask the Sunni Arab world, what would you do if the United States agreed to allow the Iranians to enrich at any level? Do you agree with me, Admiral Haney, that one of the nightmare scenarios for the world would be if you had enrichment programs of uranium all over the Mideast?
Senator, I would agree and state that one of our aspects of deterrence and assurance is working to prevent just that.
So I would end with this thought. If somehow, some way, the world sanctions an Iranian enrichment program, you have set the stage for the whole Mideast to become an enrichment zone, and God help us all under that scenario. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Graham.